Hi everyone, and welcome to my 30-day coding challenge where I'll try to learn to code a fully functioning website in 30 days. This was day 14, which means 2 weeks have passed. And let's just review, go week by week, what I have learned in last 2 weeks. And then we'll go what I did today as well. So last 2 weeks, I've learned about how information flows on internet. I've learned about CLI, command terminals, how to use them. And also I have a fair bit of knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. First week was mainly concentrated with HTML and CSS exercises and courses. And the second week was totally dominated by JavaScript. And still, I haven't finished learning, or at least the course of JavaScript, which I've been doing for this week. So yeah, first week was quite engaging in sense of like I was quite enjoying what I was learning in HTML and CSS because they were not very easy concepts to master, and they were quite intuitive as well. The second week I sort of ran into challenge when I started JavaScript. As coming from non-technical background, the syntax and everything is a little complex, and it's harder to master in comparison to HTML and CSS. So this week has been a little bit of challenge for me, but it's getting better. So let's just talk about today, what I did today. I finally finished the Amazon course, or the website that I was coding on Super Simple Dev. And comparing my experience from yesterday, it has gone a little bit smoother in terms of syntax errors. I was much more careful about them, and also trivial mistakes have gone down. So it had become a little bit challenging yesterday when I was not able to catch my errors, when I was making a lot of syntax errors and a lot of capital sensitive syntax. I was putting them wrong and they were harder to catch as well. This today I found a little bit more confident in syntaxes, and also I got the better understanding of whatever concepts that we have covered so far, such as functions, loops, and arrays. Today we went deeper into module, which means like how we'll call functions from another file, and how are we gonna import them into the file that we are working on. Looking at what we have covered so far, it seems like a lot of like difficult concepts have already been covered, and the rest of the course is just about uh, like external libraries, and then testing frameworks, and then object-oriented programming, classes, inheritance, which doesn't seem to be as complicated as functions or arrays and loops. If you can master them, then hopefully the rest of the lessons will be quite easier. And I'm hoping to finish them either tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So I'll provision maximum 2 days for the JavaScript, because I'll have to move on to the backend part of the software as well. So that was today. As you can see on the screen, I was much better today in terms of getting the coding done. I was quite confident in terms of applying the functions and arrays and loops, and it became a little bit easier if I compare to my performance from yesterday, which was quite underwhelming, and I really struggled putting all that theory that I have learned into practice while I was trying to code the first time. Even though I was just trying to copy what he was doing on screen, still it was a little difficult. But that goes to say, like, I mean, if you keep practicing, it becomes easier, and these concepts can be easily mastered if you put some time into them. Because one thing I noticed while I was learning JavaScript, it's the same thing that we do over and over again. So it's not like there are hundreds of things that you need to master. There's just few things that you need to master, such as arrays and loops, and how you're gonna recall them, how you're gonna structure them, how you wanna convert the data into the HTML code, and how you're gonna make that web page interactive by putting some class attributes into your HTML, so that you know what would happen when someone clicks a button, let's say of delete or update. So making sure that that action goes through. So they're not limitless things that you need to master in JavaScript. It's just very few things, and I believe the more you do, you get better at it, and it's just a matter of time. And my objective, or the whole aim, was to understand the fundamentals of it, which I feel like quite confident now. Like I can read other people's code. I can understand like what's happening, which is much more important to me than rather than going deeper into and trying to master the language or trying to master the syntax, which is not my objective at this point, because I know with the help of AI coding tools such as like Cursor, Codex, or Claude Code, I mean, you do not need to know every aspect of syntax. You do not need to master every comma or every semicolon. Those tools will help you with that, but you definitely need to know the underlying framework. You definitely need to understand the concept. You definitely need to understand the rationale behind, why are people choosing to write a code this way or the other way, which is more efficient or which would result in less errors or less bugs. So that's my objective and that's my aim. So with that objective in mind, I feel like I have gotten a good grasp of JavaScript so far, and there's still 1.5 or 2 days more to go for me to go deeper into JavaScript. And I'll probably try to invest that time into do some more practical exercise or develop a deeper understanding of the most performed functions on web pages. So that's my plan for next 2 days. Obviously, I'll try to finish the course as well, and then look for the resources or probably search on internet what is the most used case of JavaScript and just try to master that. So that's my plan for tomorrow. It's been amazing last 14 days. I would not have imagined the sort of steep learning curve it has been for me, but I feel like I have accomplished a lot in last 2 weeks, and I have been able to invest at least 3 to 4 hours every day, and hopefully I would be able to invest even more going forward. So that would accelerate my learning. Otherwise, if I look at the progress that I made in last 2 weeks, I feel like I've done okay, and I still have 2 more weeks to go before I will attempt to try to build a website on my own. And I feel quite confident, at least in front end now, or at least I understand the framework. So when I'll be doing my own project, I'll probably be taking some help from either Cursor or Codex or Claude Code. So hopefully that will become even easier. And my only job or my only focus for the next 2 weeks is to understand the frameworks, understand the logic behind it, not to try to master each and everything, because that's almost impossible. Well, that was sort of the report card for last 2 weeks. I really appreciate you guys being on this journey with me. I really appreciate you watching the video. And I would also appreciate if you could have any feedback for me that I can do better, or any resources that you could think would help me in accelerating my learning. I would really appreciate that. Otherwise, you'll probably come to know in next 2 weeks whether I would be able to learn to code a website or not. So fingers crossed for that. Thank you very much for all of your support, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.